This is where my decluttering journey began, and this is one of the first places it's fallen apart. So we are going to declutter this laundry room again, evaluate some of the systems that I initially put into place, and see where things just went wrong on this whole journey to simplified living. That's what's coming up next at the atwhatcostblog.com. Well, hello friend, I'm Mary Beth from the atwhatcostblog.com, and if this is the first time we've met, I'm married to Brian and we have 3 boys ages 9, 8, and 5, and our household is busy to say the least. I'm here today in the laundry room because I'm having a hard time keeping up with this whole pandemic laundry thing. Is that something happening at your house too? I feel like my kids are changing their clothes 6 times a day, and even with a simplified wardrobe, the laundry room has just become a dumping ground, and I'm not really sure where all these clothes are coming from. So today's goal is to get this laundry room back under control, simplified, and for it to feel a little less overwhelming. So let's talk about the first go round in this laundry room. About a year ago, I came to the realization that I could no longer live with piles of laundry everywhere, living out of laundry baskets, not really knowing whether or not my kids had enough clothes or the right clothes or really where those clothes actually were. We decided to make a change. And the first place that I made a change was in our laundry room. I took everything out of this room. My husband built a folding table. I ditched all of the hampers. We had way too many. I have a laundry video about taking those steps to a more minimalist laundry life. I'll leave in the description below, and I'll also link up in the cards. But I minimized our laundry down to about a week, maybe 2 weeks worth of clothing for our kids. And the same went for linens. Each bed had one sheet that was on it all the time, another that I would swap out, especially because 2 of our boys are nighttime potty training right now. Aside from the lack of sleep, yes, not a lot of sleep happening in this house. But we are changing sheets a little bit more frequently than we would, and so I do have an extra set of sheets. Now, bonus tip, we don't do top sheets at my house because the top sheets just kept getting kicked down to the bottom, and ultimately it just resulted in more laundry for me to do. So we reduced down to 1 hamper in the hallway outside of all 3 of their bedrooms, and that's where they bring their clothes before they go take their showers and put their pajamas on, or in the morning time they'll put their pajamas in there before they go off and get dressed. That hamper, I was very intentional with the size. Now, the first go round, when we bought hampers for our kids, I bought the cutest hamper because why would I be thinking about laundry size? Those hampers held 3 loads of laundry a piece. And I don't know about you, but I never washed laundry until they were full. So you can imagine 9 loads of laundry later, I was a little bit burned out on laundry. So this time around, I purchased a hamper that I knew was only going to hold 1 load of laundry. So when that hamper was full, I knew at best I would have 1 load of laundry to wash, dry, and fold. And let me tell you, that has made all the difference. The next step was to purchase these smaller laundry baskets. Each one of my kids has one. And then as I'm taking their laundry out of the dryer, I lay them here on this folding table, sort all of their laundry right into those bins, and then they can help fold and put it away. I do have this rather large shelf that goes the length of the room, and initially I was kind of begging my husband to take it out of here. Horizontal surfaces in our house tend to attract clutter, and once I've put something down on one of those surfaces, it just seems to be a magnet for anything and everything else, which is exactly what's happened in this room. We camp, and so we have some sleeping bags that had to be washed from the last time that we went camping, and they didn't actually get put away. We have just been piling things up here on the folding table, which means the clothes that I would normally sort coming out of the dryer have all ended up back on the couch in our bedroom, and I have not folded them. Now, there's also a reason that I haven't folded them. If you're anything like I am, an overwhelming task may sort of shut you down. I know for me, I am not one of those people who looks at a very challenging task ahead of them, like folding 9 loads of laundry, and can't wait to rise to the challenge and overcome that obstacle. Yeah, that's not me. I will let it sit there and then holler up to the kids, just get a pair of underwear out of the pile. Yeah, all the time. I will take the path of least resistance. Maybe it's character flaw, I don't know. Hopefully I'll be able to work through that. But until then, I need the environment to stay very uncluttered and very easy to manage. And so as these things began piling up, I began withdrawing. I don't want to get in here and do the work until I get to a point where I am frustrated, and then I just have a rage purge. But today, I'm resisting the urge to rage purge. I know a majority of the items that are in this laundry room probably just need to be folded and put away. I know some of these items need to go to our camper, and I have a trash bag here to take anything that does not actually belong. So the first place I'm going to start is our folding table. Now, this table has become a little bit of a catch-all. As I mentioned earlier, 2 of our boys are nighttime potty training, so I typically have a load going into the washing machine maybe once a night, every other night, and then I'll have one that's coming out of the dryer. And that's happening pretty much in the middle of the night. So I'm not being very intentional about putting that stuff away in the morning time. Sometimes it's because I was up in the middle of the night and literally forgot that it's in there. So I need to fold some of these extra sheets. Everybody has a small bin in their bedrooms that house their extra sheets and blankets. And so I need to get those folded up, put them in those bins, get them back in their closets so that I have a little bit cleaner workspace. There are some clothes in here that kind of got mixed into the load because I might as well wash what I can and fill the load. And those things can go back into their bedrooms as well. But I'm gonna start here on this folding table and just get rid of anything that doesn't belong, put everything that has to go into our camper into a central location outside of this laundry room so that it can be taken up to our camper when we are able to do that. So that's pretty well it for this side of the room. So I have a basket here that is bedding that needs to go back to my kids' rooms. And then I also have a couple of towels. Now I reduced down the number of towels that we had, and I've just kind of been quarantining these. That's a terrible word to use. You know what I mean? Just in case we needed them, but we haven't pulled any of them out of here in the last, I would say probably 4 months. And we have been home pretty much for 3 of those 4 months. So if we were going to need any of these towels, it would have been by now. There's always a kid running around here somewhere. That's real life, friends, real life. So I'm gonna take these blankets off to my kids' room to be put away, and then I'm gonna get started on the dresser that's in here. And that is where the real difficult task is. There's so much junk. So there's always a little friend that has gotten stuck in somebody's sheets. This one, my son has like not a minimalist number of stuffed animals in his bed, but this little guy got tucked in, so we're gonna put him back too. So here is the area that really needs some work. So I have some cleaning supplies stored here on the top, some extra hangers. Those actually typically stay in my kids' rooms because we only have enough hangers for the clothing that we actually have. Then I have some bins that I put our laundry detergent in and a couple of clothespins. And that really is because when the kids have had swimming lessons, I will hang their wet swimsuits up here on this shelf, and they can dry pretty easily there. But the rest of this stuff is just a collection of things that have been dumped here. So here's another fun tip. These little pool noodles, cut them up, cut a little slit in them, and when your kids start slamming their doors, you just slide it over the top and they can't slam them. And I will tell you, my kids, they don't like those, but I don't like slamming doors, so we're gonna do what works. These typically go in this top drawer, but like I said, there is just a bunch of junk that has accumulated in here. A majority of those items are gonna go because honestly, they've been up here in this drawer for several months now and we haven't needed them. The swimming goggles, yeah, we do use those. I'm gonna put those in with our swimsuits. The rest of those drawers, I am storing any of our overnight bags. The kids have some duffel bags here on the floor. Those need to just go back into these drawers. There's an extra pillow and some jeans that I set aside to wash separately because they just bleed everywhere. Dark wash jeans, like, how have we not figured this out yet? Why is this still an issue? But you know, let's add it to the list of things that are still an issue. So I'm just gonna get all these things put away and straightened up. Those pool noodles are gonna go in that top drawer because that's where they actually should be. And anything else that doesn't belong is just going to either go into the trash, into its home, or if it is something that can be donated, we'll probably donate it. So my son got a robe for Christmas and he cut the tie in half. And I had it up here for a little while because I just saw it quickly, grabbed the two pieces, stuffed it up here and went on to the next thing because I was going to sew it back together and they keep grabbing them out of here. I have no idea where the other half of this is. So unfortunately, it's going in the trash. Oh, Fraggle Rock, that needs to go in my memory box. So that pretty well took care of everything that was on top of the dresser. Now I have all this stuff on the floor. So these are the bags that I was telling you about. My kids usually travel in. Oh look, they have clean clothes in them. Doggone it. I had really become discouraged with this laundry room. You know, I felt like once I had gone through it that I shouldn't have to work so hard to keep it tidied up and organized. And that's just not the case. You know, our circumstances are going to change from time to time. And I found some encouragement in the book of Lamentations, chapter 3, verses 22 through 24. It says, "The steadfast love of the Lord never ceases. His mercies never come to an end. They are new every morning. Great is your faithfulness. The Lord is my portion, says my soul. Therefore, I will hope in him." At the end of the day, it's really not about how clean I keep my laundry room or how well organized my home is. It's about where I put my hope and remembering that I'm going to live to fight another day. I don't have to be perfect all of the time. I don't have to win every battle. At the end of the day, the Lord is faithful, and I have another opportunity to serve and glorify him in all that I do, whether it's folding laundry or doing dishes or any of the other tasks that we may face during the day. We always have hope in the Lord, and all of our efforts should be to glorify him, remembering that each and every day he provides us new mercies and grace. And if He is willing to provide us grace, we can be willing to provide that for ourselves. We can give ourselves grace in the times when our circumstances don't always allow us to have everything exactly the way that we would want it to be. There will come a season when all of the struggles and strife will go away, but it will only be met with new struggles and strife. The consistency that we long for really is here in the Lord and His steadfast love. That takes care of the decluttering. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Oh, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.